Now we have to set up the now.json file that sits in the root of the folder. And so this will specify all the different steps involved with kind of taking our application locally and deploying it up to now. So the first thing that we need to do is specify all the different environmental variables. And so here we're going to be using this functionality called now secret, which I'm going to show you in a little bit how to set this up. But we get to save these strings safely encrypted up on the now servers. And so we can call them using the @MySQL URL. You can the parameters on the right-hand side, and we can assign them to our env parameters on the left-hand side. So we want to have access to them both during our build step and also just our run step. So that's why I'm copying this env block to both spots. So next, we're going to tell it how it can build our project. And so this first block, we're going to give it details about how we can build our Next.js app. And so luckily now, since Zeit both makes Now and Next.js, so they already have a builder for the Next.js application. So it makes it really easy. We can just point to the next configuration and it will just take it from there. So in the next block though, we need to tell it where our index file is for our backend server. And so luckily there's a TypeScript compiler built right in, so we can just call either a TS file or a JS file, and both of them will compile as you'd expect. In the documentation, it's recommended that we limit our max lambda size to 20 megabytes. I'm going to go ahead and do that too. And in the last block, our routes block, we have to specify how the routing will occur between our Next app and our backend server. So in this first line, we're going to say, okay, if the path GraphQL is specified, then you should run our server. You should run our backend server. Otherwise, for any other routes, you should direct it to the Next.js application. And here I accidentally made a third block, but you only need the two. What's pretty cool is this $sign here will kind of keep track of the additional routes that you have. So we can have multiple pages on this Next.js application, and using this kind of configuration, it will be smart enough for that to work as well as our GraphQL application. So now we just need to specify what files we want now to ignore. So the first thing is we want it to ignore the entire no modules folder and also the next folder and also any Docker files. And then we also have a README in the root that we want it to ignore.